Hello. Hi, yes, so I'm Dr. Tamara Schmidt. I'm a sexuality educator. And for a long time, I've used social media as a means of doing sexuality education. And it's always been very exciting, but in recent months, it's gotten even more exciting. So we're gonna talk about that and why. Again, content warning, not safe for work. These are all reasons I've been put in Facebook jail. So I just want to start this off by letting you know that I understand this isn't a First Amendment issue, and I also understand that a website, any organization can set whatever rules they want to for usership, but this is about a change in the culture online that is going to impact people who aren't even on these sites. If you're not already familiar with FOSTA SESTA, I implore you to look it up. I can't really get into it in the span of this, but the people who are most adversely affected by it are sex workers. It is making their work much more difficult and also much more dangerous. And there are huge implications for free speech across the entire internet as a result. And as a consequence, it has changed what sexuality content we can have on all of our platforms. Theoretically, on Twitter, you can still have naked pictures, you can have videos of sex, but that's pretty much it right now. Tumblr previously was just an oasis of queer, pleasure-focused, body-positive, woman-centered erotica. But as of December 17th of 2018, it is all banned. So you ain't gonna see any more strawberry dicks. You can still find white supremacists, though. So that's fun. Facebook has always been overtly anti-sex. This is an image posted by the Philadelphia Museum of Art, and it got the page banned. There's not even nudity! Facebook's updated user guidelines are so anti-sex that you can get banned for saying your partner preferences, your sexual roles, even saying looking for a good time tonight, because it's too close to solicitation. That's it. They're also taking down a lot of sexuality education pages. So the ultimate impact of this is that the only places you'll be able to find sexuality information are porn. And this will have impacts for sex education for kids. It's basically like Fast and the Furious as driver's ed. Hate speech across platforms, theoretically banned. But the problem is enforcement. If you've been on Twitter, you know there are still plenty of Nazis. But what if you're too racist even for Twitter? You have options! So Gab is a platform that continues to exist despite the fact that users have posted on there immediately before committing hate crimes, including shooting up a synagogue, yet they can still exist. So that sucks. What about on Facebook? Well, you can't say bad things about protected categories. So you can't say men are trash. However, you can say what you want about subsets of categories. So if you want to talk about female drivers or black children, or more specifically white men, you'll get banned. So there's no context for how these things are used. You can't reappropriate slurs that have been used against you, but you can deny that the Holocaust happened. So the ultimate impact of all of these things that are anti-hate speech is ultimately perpetuating systems of oppression. What about violence? Banned across platforms, theoretically. But this has to do, again, with enforcement. It's much harder to find violence using an algorithm than these other things. When we look at the data from Facebook's enforcement, what we see, what you could see theoretically, is that violence is the thing people are most likely to report. That's what they want taken down. What's Facebook most likely to take down? Nudity. What we're pointing to there is that these community standards aren't actually decided on by the Facebook community. Most insidiously, political speech across all these platforms. There are a lot of political sites that are being taken down on Facebook specifically, and one of the most dangerous things about that is that Facebook has a 1 in 10 false positive rate of taking things down. So this has a really chilling, silencing effect on grassroots organizations, on more marginalized communities that don't have a lot of resources. And then we're also seeing that Facebook is collaborating with the repressive regimes of multiple nations so that they can have access to their citizens as customers. So for instance, if you are critical of Turkey's Erdogan, you will be labeled a terrorist and your page will be banned. So there are repercussions even if you're not on the website, geopolitically. Another impact of this is the same thing that happens in abusive relationships, and that is called preemptive obedience. We start to censor ourselves in order to avoid punishment. There will be ripple effects across the culture, even for those people who aren't on these sites. So what can we do? Be more cognizant and mindful of our social media usage. support the journalism that you want to see more of financially, vote for people who care about this stuff. Y'all should run for office. And then you can also go to my website, sexwithtamari.com, because I will post nudity on there tomorrow. So thank you very much for your time.